It was supposed to be just another tech summit in Texas. All startups, stage lights, and buzzwords. On the schedule, Elon Musk, slotted late in the day. The assumption: he'd breeze through a SpaceX update, maybe tease a new Tesla plant, shake some hands, and disappear. But that's not what happened. What happened was a spark. In front of a screen that read, "The future is ours if we stop sabotaging it," Musk walked on stage wearing a plain black t-shirt and that look, the one that means he's about to ignore the script. He didn't warm up. He didn't charm the room. He just looked down at his phone and then looked up. "This new one big beautiful bill from Trump's people," he said. "It's a dumpster fire." The room froze. Literally. No clapping, no laughing, not even a polite cough. And then came the rest. It props up dying industries. It bloats defense budgets. It does zero for real innovation. Elon Musk, the same Elon Musk who once dined with Trump, who praised deregulation, who benefited from those old alliances, had just detonated a political landmine on a tech stage. Cameras rolled. Phones lit up. And somewhere, Jasmine Crockett was watching. Because less than an hour later, she posted 4 words. No hashtags, no commentary, no punctuation. Just, "Even Elon sees it." That tweet wasn't noise. It was signal. And it cracked open something far more dangerous. Because the second that tweet hit, the leaks began. Because less than 90 minutes after Jasmine Crockett tweeted, "Even Elon sees it," something started moving. Quietly, but fast. A verified congressional reporter dropped a single line. "Sources say Representative Crockett's office reviewing new documents linked to federal contract spending." No details, no confirmation, but that didn't stop the speculation. Online sleuths jumped in immediately. Reddit lit up. TikTok within hours. And one blurry photo began circulating like wildfire. A man in a gray suit walking into the Cannon House office building with a red envelope tucked under his arm. Some said it was nothing. Others knew better. What was confirmed just before 3 p.m. was that Crockett's team had requested access to internal audit files from the Government Accountability Office. The request? Time-stamped just minutes after Musk's speech. Coincidence? Not likely. Because around the same time, screenshots started leaking. Procurement records, approval memos, contract payments made to a defense firm called Orion Strategic Technologies, a company that just so happened to have deep Trump-era ties, and just so happened to be the same firm Musk sued in 2023 for patent fraud. And that's when the narrative flipped. Musk hadn't just gone rogue, he had gone tactical. And Crockett? She wasn't tweeting for clout, she was arming up. By 5 p.m., conservative media was already calling it a coordinated ambush. The Daily Patriot screamed betrayal. Fox used the word collusion, and a right-wing podcaster accused Musk of being the deep state's new billionaire toy. But what they didn't know was that this wasn't even the big play. This wasn't the move that triggered DC's panic button. That came next. And it came in silence. Set-up line for next chapter, because what Musk and Crockett didn't say shook Washington more than anything they did. Musk didn't post. Crockett didn't clarify. No statement, no press conference, no cute collab tweet. Just silence. And somehow, that silence said everything. Because in politics, silence isn't neutral. It's leverage. While conservative commentators foamed at the mouth, Crockett stayed on schedule. At one point, TMZ caught her walking out of a courthouse in Fort Worth. The reporter shouted, "Congresswoman, are you working with Elon Musk to take down Trump?" She didn't break stride, just tilted her sunglasses down, gave a half smile, and said, "Is that what they're saying today?" That clip went viral in under an hour. Not because of what she said, but because of what she didn't. Meanwhile, Musk was radio silent. No tweets, no threads, no selfies from a Tesla factory. Just one subtle move. He liked Crockett's tweet. That's it. One click, one digital nod. And with that, the pieces started aligning, not through words, but through intention. This wasn't chaos. It was choreography. The former Trump ally turned corporate whistleblower. The firebrand congresswoman known for grilling billionaires, now standing quietly beside one. Even seasoned Hill reporters couldn't decide what was happening. Were they aligned, coordinated, co-opting each other? No one knew. But everyone was watching, because Washington knows the difference between noise and pressure. And this felt like pressure, sustained, calculated, dangerous. And just when they thought it couldn't escalate further, it did. Because a black SUV pulled up outside the House Oversight Committee. And that's when everything changed. 8:03 a.m. The cameras didn't catch it. A black SUV with government plates pulled up outside the Cannon House office building. A man got out, not a politician, not a staffer, but someone known only to people who pay attention to NDAs. One of Elon Musk's senior legal consultants. In his hand, a slim black folder marked Confidential Strategic Gaps. He said nothing to the press. Walked past security. Took the elevator straight to the 5th floor. 2 hours later, Jasmine Crockett's office updated her calendar. Private consultation, oversight staff, closed-door session, no press availability for 36 hours. On Capitol Hill, that's not quiet. That's lockdown. Inside the committee room, documents were opened. Invoices, memos, subcontractor approvals from the height of the pandemic. And one thing kept repeating, no deliverables, no oversight, no accountability. One logistics company was paid $14 million to modernize PPE transport. Turns out, they didn't move a single box. Another firm billed for emergency data infrastructure, never activated. And all of them linked back to 2 procurement channels, favored by the Trump administration in 2020. And the kicker? Some of these companies, the very same ones, were quietly connected to Roken Felton, a D.C. lobbying firm deeply tied to Trump's campaign financing. This wasn't a bad look. This was a trigger. Because that afternoon, Axios reported, external files submitted to House Oversight Committee, source linked to Elon Musk legal team, review ongoing. Crockett didn't hold a press conference, didn't post a victory lap. She said 6 words to her team. Let's verify every line, quietly. But Washington wasn't quiet, not anymore. Because this was no longer about a rogue speech or a bold tweet. This was a data drop, a pressure campaign. And D.C. could feel it closing in. And that's when Trump, cornered, furious, and unfiltered, finally snapped. 7:00 a.m. Eastern. Truth Social lights up like a 5-alarm fire. In all caps, no punctuation, no filters, Donald Trump goes nuclear. Elon Musk is a fake genius turned Democrat operative. Jasmine Crockett is a disgrace to Congress. This is a hit job. There will be very serious consequences. The post was raw, angry, and loud, even by Trump's standards. Within 5 minutes, screenshots were everywhere. CNN cut its morning fluff segment mid-sentence. Fox pivoted into DEFCON 1 mode. MSNBC had 3 analysts live before 7:15. But he wasn't done. At 7:13 a.m., post number 2 dropped, shorter, sharper, and far more cryptic. I know what Elon did during 2020. We all know. If he wants to play games, we can talk about his private deals. And Fauci. No one knew what it meant, and that's what made it worse. Was it a threat? A bluff? A warning shot aimed at something Musk thought was buried? Twitter, or X, exploded. What private deals? What does Fauci have to do with Musk? What is Trump sitting on? But Trump was only winding up. Post number 3, a vintage video clip from a 2021 rally where he once praised Musk as a great American success. The caption now? Should have known better. He's been playing both sides. And with that, the final domino dropped. The base, the MAGA loyalists, the influencers, the shock jocks, they had to pick. Was Musk a traitor? Was Crockett being used? Or were they just two people holding more truth than Trump could afford to let out? By 8 a.m., everything was breaking. Trump's rage wasn't just explosive. It was revealing. This wasn't a man controlling the narrative. This was a man reacting to something bigger than him, something he couldn't stop, couldn't dismiss, and maybe couldn't survive. And just when the chaos felt unsustainable, Jasmine Crockett walked straight into the Capitol S front entrance and said the one thing no one expected. 9:11 a.m. Jasmine Crockett didn't sneak in through the tunnels. She didn't use the staff-only corridor, didn't slip past cameras, didn't hide. She walked straight through the Capitol's front doors, into a wall of flashing bulbs, boom mics, and questions. Reporters screamed, "Congresswoman, are you working with Elon Musk to bring down Trump?" She stopped, looked dead into the lens. No notes, no talking points. "I'm working with the truth," she said. "He just happens to be one of the people holding some of it." That clip hit social media like a bomb. CNN ran it on loop. TikTok turned it into a dozen remixes within the hour. Reddit crowned her queen of calm. But the real quake, the reaction inside D.C. That same morning, 2 senior officials at the Pandemic Oversight Board resigned. Without explanation. A bipartisan letter signed by 16 House members requested an open hearing on pandemic-era contracting. 8 Democrats, 8 Republicans. Their message? Clear. We need to know where the money went. And that pressure? It had a name now. Not Trump, not Biden, Musk and Crockett. Together, without even confirming they were working together, they had forced Washington's hand. Because while Trump was spiraling, while Fox screamed and MSNBC theorized, the public did something rare. They paid attention. Parents in Ohio, truckers in Georgia, nurses in Arizona. They weren't watching a scandal. They were watching something shift. A congresswoman who didn't blink. A billionaire who didn't tweet, but leaked. And then, just before midnight, something else dropped. A package, delivered by courier to the House Oversight Committee. No return address, just a small USB drive. One word typed on the label, next. And with that, D.C. officially panicked.